Episode 118, the last episode before Christmas. Yeah, I don't know why in a lot of these Hallmark movies until people are going, Christmas. We've already discussed that, I think. Here's my other pet peeve about the Hallmark/Lifetime. All of these movies, they all act. One of them's supposed to be in Alaska, for instance, and they've got 15 layers of beautiful clothing on. But then when they go outside, you can't see anybody's breath. Nobody thought that through. Right. It's supposed to be freezing. Oh, have I not addressed my outfit yet? No. Oh, well, if you can't see me, will you turn me up a little bit? Turn my mic up just a little bit. Thank you. A little bit louder, and that's perfect. So if you can't see me, if you're listening to this and wherever you get your podcast, I'm wearing an entire Buc-ee's Santa suit. What is Buc-ee's? Buc-ee's is the world's greatest lifestyle. It's an experience. I don't want to call it I will call it a lifestyle, because if you are in the Buc-ee's family, you will wait for the Buc-ee's exit. You will make it a destination. I got to see if Love's Trucks, if they have an app to tell you where the next Buc-ee's is. Oh, that's great. Now, there's a lot of Northerners going in. I'm on drives, and they're like, why don't these exist in the Northeast? I don't know why, but one of the reasons I'm going to guess they're not going to go too far north is because of the land. They need a lot of land for a Buc-ee's. Now, they have crept north. They're in Missouri now, Springfield. Well, what? But look how far north they're going. Starting in Texas, they're like the armadillos. They're making their way up the highway. Tennessee, I stopped at 2. Crossville, that's the big new one. And the great thing is it's new, so not a ton of people know to pull off yet. So even though it's crowded, it's not as overwhelming. They have so much say. It's Christmas. I've never been in one at Christmas. Christmas threw up in Buc-ee's. It is so overwhelming. Yes, I did buy you a present. Nice. We had to stop. I was with my friend Brian. We had to stop on the way down and the way back because I forgot stuff. And then my mom, I thought she liked the dark chocolate Buc-ee nuts, whatever. She likes the milk chocolate, but they don't answer their phone, so I had to text my sister. She said, I'm going to pick Mom up. I said, if you could please ask her and then text. Now we have to do that with my parents. Is someone physically with them, ask them this question, and text me the goddamn answer. I'm trying to do something Christmassy. They have brand new phones. It's just, you know what? It's not a very heavy suit either. Wait till I show up. My sister won't watch this. Definitely not on YouTube. She won't even know. Wait till I'm showing up. I'm just rocking in the house like it's totally normal. I will make a video. The dog will go crazy, though. Buster won't know who I am. He'll probably eat me alive. He's getting real cranky in his old age. Yeah, he's not starting fights, but he ain't afraid to respond to them. Let's put it that way. Great. The old Australian Shepherd. He actually faked an injury to get my sister's attention. Australian Shepherds are almost too smart. She has this trainer person that comes over and does workouts with her once a week. And the lady came over and they were doing stuff out in the yard. And he went up to them in the yard going, like his paw was hurt. And Kate's like, oh my God. So they took him to the vet and he walked in the vet and he was fine. No. And the vet goes, I hate to say it, but I think he just did that on purpose. Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. I said, that's why you should get a beagle. They're not smart enough to pull that whole caper off like that. No. He interrupted your workout and made you put him in the car and take him to a doctor. And then just laugh the whole way home.
Can we get a pup cup?
Who's dumber than a dog right now? My sister. Anyway, there's a Northerner on Twitter that was saying, here, I should read it. It's funny. It's about Buc-ee's. Yeah, we're going to talk about Twitter, too. I don't even know what's happening. He wrote, he's a writer for the Daily something. The Daily. The Daily Beast. He's an political investigation reporter. Mm-hmm. He's from New York. Nice. Jose Pagliari. I think I said that right. This is what he tweeted. Me at 7:30. What is Buc-ee's and why are you dragging me in here? Me at 7:38. This is a mini Cabela's. It's a crime these don't exist in the Northeast. That's exactly what happens. You don't know till you get in there. And even if there's 10,000 people, do not worry. That place works better than Disney World. Yeah. The bathrooms, you never wait. You never wait to check out. There's so many, 200 gas pumps. And the gas was 1 cent cheaper than across the street. So they know how to nail that shit, too. Just wonderful. Speaking of which, I have some salt and vinegar Buc-ee's potato chips. Nice. Yeah, I got everything in there. Yeah. Everything. Ornaments. I have everything. The jerky is so good.
Yep.
A jerky bar. Where else in the world have you ever seen a beef jerky bar? Not just beef. Turkey, chicken, like everything. Probably not a happy place for vegans, but, you know, everybody's got their spots. These are delicious. Anything at Buc-ee's is good. They have a whole barbecue thing in the middle where they're actually making the barbecue right in front of your face. Ice cream, it's not my thing, but if you're into it, cool. Yeah. All right. And I'm not even sponsored, but I am a whore. I'm available if Buc-ee's would like to sponsor.
We should get on there. Yeah.
Somebody call them in Texas. Termite things before we get moving. This little card, how cool is this? That little card, you can't see it. It stands up by itself. That's from Cindy and Todd. Knowing Hallmark, that probably cost $74. I mean, the price of greeting cards, I'm going to have to start the smartest person in the world, Jeff Foxworthy. Because what did he do? Started his own greeting card line. No way. Oh, yeah, he did, years ago. Cool. No, they're still in stores now. You might be a redneck if, and then which I know people say, some people make fun of Jeff because they say, you know, oh, those redneck jokes, but here's the greatest one he ever wrote, in my opinion. This is, you might be a redneck if you have a Dale Jr. in your family and you don't have a Dale Sr., you're a redneck. There's no other Dale. Just so you can call him Junior. That's a race car joke for those of you who don't know NASCAR. That'd be a Dale Earnhardt Jr. joke right there, and it's funny as shit. I got a Bigfoot Etch-a-Sketch from the Coates family, and don't think I won't. This is going to be something to do drunk at my brother's.
Fun.
Yes.
Bald Bigfoot.
Huh?
Wonderful. Bald Bigfoot.
Yeah, you can do the bikini, heavy metal. You can put him in anything. I'm totally taking that to my brother's house. And I can't believe I just got ditched for my rye bread dip. They said my other sister's bringing it. I'm like, I don't know if I trust that.
Bring it yourself.
Well, you can't. The rye bread's hard to get hold of, the right rye bread. So this termite sent this. First of all, you can't see it. It's the fanciest Guinness box you've ever seen. I mean, it's like there's gold in here. And then open it up, and it's your own Guinness pint glass. It's got satin in the thing. Yeah, and it says Kathleen, Madigan, Mama Termite. It's my own specialized pint glass from the thing. I think they went. The letter's long. I can't get to. I have read a lot of it, but this is from Kelly, a grateful termite. Yeah, that is. And Paddle's got one too. Yeah. So I should have used this today, but I wanted to take it out of the fantasy box in case you're watching on YouTube. Look how fancy that is. It's wonderful. And other termite things, just a few cards. My friend Adam in South Carolina, shout out. And I got his coffee table book, but I haven't had time to talk about it. And then somebody just sent me a card. Gina, best wishes. They'll be in Scottsdale. Who's coming to Nashville? I just put up a video for the Ryman. Cool. Oh, my God. And on George and Tammy, they keep showing the Ryman. I know, I don't know enough about country music, so sometimes I don't have the proper amount of respect. But now I'm learning even more about George and Tammy. What a great show. If you have... This is where this is all getting bullshit, too. So it's on Showtime, but it's on Paramount Plus early, like the exclusivity, like 2 nights, and then you can get, are you guys actively trying to confuse people? Because, yeah, I know, but I did it. And Allison and Brenda sent me a Bigfoot on a Loch Ness Monster sticker that's totally going on the new Pubcast joke notebook because I'm out. So... That's all my termite stuff for the time being. Nice. What are we drinking? Well, truth be told, in this Bucky's glass is a regular Miller Lite. But aside from the Miller Lite is Ole Smoky Moonshine, eggnog flavor, which is in the St. Louis Blues shot glass.
Delicious.
Oh, my God. So we went down to Gatlinburg. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're going to go to Tennessee, you're going to go down Highway 40. You're going to get off. First is Sevierville. That's where Dollywood is, and Dolly's new hotel, which I will tell you about. Mm-hmm. Then you go out to Pigeon Forge. Yep. Then Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg is like the last town. Now you're up in the mountain, kind of. Yep. I thought Sevierville was dry county, but apparently not. There's liquor at Dolly's hotel. So I don't know what changed there. Woo! There's not liquor at Dollywood. Right. But I'll tell you about that in a minute. But if you go on up to Gatlinburg, this is why you should go with kids. I told my brother, put those boys in the car. It's like a mini Colorado, but with, I don't know, it's a lot cheaper. And there's there's a lot more for kids. Like the whole Gatlinburg thing. Go-karts, arcades, but it keeps raising its bar. It's not as hillbilly as it used to be. There's what's his face? Who has the old red bar? Luke Bryant? No. Old Red. Blake Shelton. He has a brand new, sports screens everywhere. Like, it's very nice. Yep. I always stay at the Marriott Courtyard because I'm a Marriott ambassador. I don't want to brag. Whoa. That means you stay over 200 nights a year in a Marriott. And then when I get there, no matter where I go in and I check in, they literally freak out. Like I'm in a Hallmark movie, like a princess.
Like you're dressed
They're
like
like, oh, we've never met a ambassador. Meanwhile, I got shitty jeans. My shoes are all fucked up. I've got a Buc-ee's thing on I have a tiny Buc-ee's stuffed animal on my carry-on, and my purse is falling apart. And I'm like, well, probably not what you expected. Probably disappointing. Even the young people, they're like, oh, an ambassador. And then they leave you a special present in your room, and depending on where you are, you can tell what's going to, like Sacramento Airport one. Now, that doesn't mean they didn't try. Yep. I got a piece of jerky and potato chips in my special bag for being a Marriott ambassador. And then, but in Monterey, I got binoculars. No. Yeah, so tiny ones, but nonetheless, they worked. I'm like, oh, I guess they think I'm going whale watching or something in Monterey. Maybe I'll go look for that lady that was accidentally eaten by that shark last week out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very few people attain ambassador status, and you can't ask a friend for favors. You have to do it. Yeah. 200 nights a year in some form of Marriott property. That's a lot of time. I look at that painting of Bill Marriott Senior, and then Bill Marriott Senior, and I've seen that photo more than I've seen my grandparents. I really have. I'm like, what's up, Bill and Bill, B&B? What's up? Mama Turbine's back in the house. What up, Willie? And this counts from anything to a courtyard to the fanciest Marriott ever. Nice. They all count. Every night counts. Anyway, so the Ole Smoky Moonshine distillery is in Gatlinburg. So what you could do, and this would be right up my brother's alley because his kids are now 14, 12, and 10, you could tell the kids, run on over to that arcade, and then him and his wife sneak over to you can do a tasting fight for $5.
Oh, cool.
And the girl tells you everything, or the guy, whoever, your person, our bartender would happen to be a girl. And she told us everything about every moonshine we're drinking, and then they have all kinds of special deals. So this jar really is only about, I think, $7. No, higher. I don't remember, 22, but then I bought 6, and then they start math that's very confusing. Like, well, now if you buy 4, you get 1 extra and then a half price, and then if you double down on that, you get a cooler. And then if you want a cooler on wheels, it gets to be a lot. I'm that lady that just walks out with Yeah, I did get the wheel cooler. No. Well, I had a long way back to the car. Yeah, and Dorf ain't going to do it, so he's no help. So anyway, that's what we're drinking. And this is available all across America now. Yeah. It's not just in Tennessee, but they did start in Tennessee. Do you like it? This eggnog one is delicious, and there was a banana something one that was delicious. There's a blue one. I won't drink anything blue. I'm not. If you throw up blue, it's very alarming. I'm not doing that. Some lady on Twitter goes, oh, I have one in my cabinet, and shot a picture of it in her house. I'm like, wow. Right next to it was a bottle of Bailey's. I'm like, well, I'll have that Bailey's while you're having your blue moonshine. Oh, my God. Not that I plan on throwing up at this age, but if you did. Or
it's called Blue Flame.
Blue Flame. Yeah, no, thanks. That would have been for my 20s. Not for,
horrible.
No.
This one, you said banana cream pie.
Banana cream pie is delicious. This, what are we tasting? This is a Kit Kat gingerbread for Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on.
By the way, my Bucky Santa suit,
Yep.
all in $29.99.
No.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
I bet it catches on fire if you smoke.
Yep, I'm sure it'll probably catch on fire just holding this lighter. I'm sure none of this is safe. Fire! Fire! That's really good. The gingerbread Kit Kat. Yeah. Highly recommend it. And I'm not the biggest gingerbread person.
Do you like Kit Kats?
I do like Kit Kats a lot.
Great.
The Bucky's potato chip's great. And this is French's honey mustard. I've been on a bit of a honey mustard kick lately. So let's see if French's can, because if so, believe me or my mom will take it right to that restaurant. Tell them to fuck off. It's okay.
Yeah.
A little too sweet.
Okay. Oh, it's got honey in it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it does. But some have less honey.
Sure.
It's okay. I like the one at my bar better.
What bar?
A bar called the Poorhouse.
No.
P-O-U-R. Not P-O-O-R.
Tricky.
Might be heading there after this.
Oh, good.
All right, termites, that's it. Let's move on to some Queen news. Well, the Queen news is Dollywood. I'd never been in my life, and here's why I didn't want to go.
Okay.
Well, first of all, there's no alcohol. But that doesn't mean I can't have fun, right, Kathleen? These are the talks I have to have with myself. Just because there's no alcohol doesn't mean we can't have a good time, right? Of course, that doesn't mean that. But as a kid in Missouri, there was a place that's now basically Branson, which is famous now, called Silver Dollar City. And they had a lot of old-time hillbilly Ozark things, like people churning butter, belt making.
Oh.
Yeah. I told Brian if he was good, I'd get him a satchel that said Brian.
Handmade.
But I'd purposely spell it wrong. And Silver Dollar City had a few rides. Like, we liked going as kids, but there was a lot of throwback hillbilly things.
Right.
And I thought that's what Dollywood would be. So I never really went. But then at Christmas time, they have all the lights. Well, I have no reason to do an ad for this place, but I'm going to do it because somebody should do it. $89 all in. You're in the park for $89. Preferred parking, $40, which is a lot. But you are like at the entrance. It's like you're actually working there. Like I'm the president. Like I kept thinking this car's going to get towed, right? No. It's just, and then I just paid that because it was super cold. But I also didn't know, like when at Six Flags, when we would go as kids, if my parents parked, there's no tram coming. You just have to walk. I had already walked. If I had a Fitbit back then when I was like 11, I probably walked 5 miles before I got into Six Flags. Because we were never there on time. We're not there. We're not the early family. No, we're not. So I didn't want to park way, way far away because it's cold. It's too cold. I can't handle it. So I went ahead and splurged. But if you want the regular parking, I don't know. It was cheap. $89. And then I have no interest in this. Well, the park itself, very modern. She hired the people from Disney World. There are trams that come to every parking lot. So you can park anywhere and it's fine. Hop on the tram, just like Disney World. It's super modern. There's some throwback things like glass making and stuff like that, but they make even that modern and interesting. One of her old tour buses there, you can go tour that. The rides are insanely modern and awesome. I have no desire to get on a roller coaster, especially at night. And the video I posted, I mean, they are running. I don't even know how you insure that. That's all I think as a daughter of a lawyer. How do they get insurance for this? I sound 150. I'm a buzzkill when it comes to that. I don't think any of this is insured properly. If there's a lawsuit, I hope they have the proper attorneys. If one of those children fall off and there's a lot of roller coasters. There's great rides. It's super modern. I was just overwhelmed. The gift shops are bananas great. It's Christmas stuff, Dolly stuff, whatever you want. And then if it was summertime, I told my brother, you could tack on the water park, which I only saw online.
Right.
And I said, if I were to come meet you, I will not be at the water park. I will be at the Ole Smoky Distillery. And then I'll meet you and your children and your wife after the water park. I have no desire. But if you did, and you could also stay up there and go whitewater rafting.
Cool.
Gatlinburg is just undersold. Yeah. They need a better pitch person. I don't know who's in charge of that. I'll do it.
It's getting cool.
It's becoming super cool, and it's still very, very reasonably priced.
Great.
And if you're in the South or somewhere, you can just drive.
Right. Or the Midwest.
Or the Midwest. Yeah. Patrick need down there from Missouri. Okay, so that's my only Queen news is Dollywood was fantastic.
You said you talked about the hotel.
Oh, she built a hotel.
Yep.
It's called Dreammore.
Cool.
Dreammore. Get it?
Dream more.
She's also building an enormous lodge resort thing that it's all modern. It's all brand new. The hotel was just phenomenal. Like not too fancy if you have kids.
Yep.
Well, if it's my brother's kids, no. Depending on your kids. Like I always tell Patrick whenever he's like, "Hey, buddy, do you think you know anybody at this place, a hotel room?" And I'm like, "Well, how long are you gonna stay, Pat?" I mean, 3 boys are 3 boys. But it's wonderful. Now, it's over by Dollywood, so you're not on the main drag, so you'd have to get a ride, but nothing's more than 10 minutes away. So if I had kids and all, the pool is phenomenal. I ate in the bar. Food was great. There's healthy stuff. There's Southern stuff. It just it needs a better spokesperson. I'm here to help. I think I've done enough for today. Anyway.
Did you go to Paula Deen's? You told me about it.
Well, I did go into Paula Deen's, but only because my BFF, Vic Henley, who passed away, he had the greatest Paula Deen joke ever. And it's a long bit. And if you can, we'll find it and put it in the show notes. I probably already have.
Yep, I know where it
But because of him, I would go in there and buy things that just say butter all over them. Like, I know she's in all of the issues with Paula. But, like, Vic goes, as a Southern man, you're going to tell me I'm supposed to be surprised that a 65-year-old woman from the South who eats butter as a main course is also a racist? Well, I would expect nothing less. If she wasn't, I'd be like, you're not going to believe what I found. One lady in the South. So, all his words, not mine. But I used to go in there to buy Vic things that just say butter, y'all, as a joke to his joke. So I went in on behalf of Vic. And I didn't really buy anything except a postcard to send to my friend Bob. Okay, let's get to it. No, Bob doesn't like Paula Deen. That's why I'm sending it.
All right.
But boy, I'll tell you, if you can, put her antics aside, you walk in and they have all these sauces and dips and it's all free.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's
It's tempting. It's tempting. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I'm going to start giving her money.
Gotta wash this down with some moonshine.
Well, she is a good cook, or who's ever doing the cooking over there is good. Okay, update. Let's get this show on the actual road. Update. Boris Becker has been released from prison.
Thank God.
You can let your children play in the yard again. I'm kidding. He didn't do anything with children. He hid money and he didn't pay, and then he filed bankruptcy and then hid money. But he's done his 8 months, and he's being returned to Germany.
Good for him.
Yep. And his mother, his 87-year-old mother, Elvira Becker, described her son's early release as the best Christmas present I could hope for.
Oh.
He was been kicked out of England, though. I wonder, that's where he's lived for a while. I wonder if he can, that's how he got out. His foreign national status allowed early release under fast-track deportation program. Now, the question is, can he get back in there? I don't know. We'll see. We'll track him. He'll make money. He'll make more money.
Absolutely.
He's Boris Becker.
Right.
And for those of you that I call the children listening, he was a famous tennis person in the 80s, 90s, 20s. Update!
Boom.
Update! Zuckerberg! 2 things. First of all, has anybody else noticed, is it just me, that if you go to post an Instagram video, now it says all Instagram videos will be posted as reels?
Yeah.
And I don't want to.
No, he's an ass.
I don't want to do that. I just want to post them as, I don't want to try to make a quarter of a cent of a cent of a cent. I just like to post it the old way.
Right.
Well, my phone won't let me do that now.
Nope.
I don't like the way it looks visually, and I don't like changes. Here's, how about this one? Zuckerberg's Meta goes full fascist. Bars employees from discussing politics, vaccines, and more.
Huh.
First of all,
What about the other?
whenever people make policies for all their employees, you can always just go, oh, clearly you don't understand what we're all actually doing.
People.
Meg Whitman,
Right.
who did she run? Yahoo,
She ran eBay.
eBay. And then she tried to run for,
For governor.
yeah, but she tried to,
Senator or something.
she got employed by Yahoo or somebody for a hot minute.
Yep.
And she wouldn't let people work from home because she said, and basically I quote, well, most good ideas come up from people talking at the water cooler.
Come on.
Meg,
No one's
this
doing
is
that
why you
anymore.
don't have any good friends.
No.
Because people will go, here she comes, talk about work. No, seriously, change it. You know what people are talking about, Meg? They're talking about who they texted all weekend, their football pool, fantasy football, the family pool, football, fall. Nobody's talking about work.
Yeah.
This shows you how little they know. What other nerds are sitting there at the water cooler going, I have another great idea for the company? Nobody's doing that. But now he's saying what you can't say. The new international guidelines forbid employees from talking about topics that are deemed very disruptive. These include discussions about abortion rights, gun rights, vaccinations, elections, and political movements such as Black Lives Matter. Meta's head of people, Lori Galler, said that the decision to silence employees has been done to ensure the internal discussions remain respectful, productive, and to allow us to focus. They state, this comes with the trade-off that we will no longer allow for every type of expression at work, but we think this is the right thing to do for the long-term health of our internal community.
Come on.
Yeah. Meta's silencing of workers is a concerning trend. While employees have expressed they're upset at the company's business decisions, the company's fantastic rules of politics. No, not fantastic. Oh, fascistic. It's a hard one when you see all those S's. Rules of politics censoring take away workers' freedoms. How very un-American of you, Mark. Why don't you just let people talk about whatever they talk about? First of all, nobody's getting on a work Zoom to go, does anyone want to hear my position on abortion?
No.
How many people are in on the Zoom? Hello?
Mueller.
Oh, no? Not interested in abortion? How about my feelings on gun rights? Nobody's doing this.
No.
This is like, yeah, somebody might have on a Black Lives Matter sweatshirt. Guess what? Wear your own sweatshirt then to combat that if you want. You want to fight in sweatshirts or bumper stickers? Have at it.
Exactly.
This is so ridiculous. Nobody's doing this.
No one's...
And then you make a bad headline for yourself.
Uh-huh.
This suit is hard to get around my paperwork. I didn't talk about too before I go off full on update. I'll do it after.
Your Bucky teeth are sticking straight out.
My Bucky teeth?
Yeah, they're sticking straight out. These ones. You have
Oh, has he got teeth sticking out there? Oh yeah. Okay. Update.
much better.
Update. Our 3 traders in Michigan that tried to capture Gretchen. I'll tell you what. No offense, but if you've ever seen Gretchen and her crazy runaway bride eyes, I wouldn't want to capture Gretchen. No. If she was a neighbor and came over with pies or something, I'd be like, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I wouldn't. Hey, you want to come in for a shot of moonshine? And then, oh, shit, I got to go. My dad's on the phone. He's getting older. Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know enough about day-to-day what Gretchen does up in Michigan, but I can tell you by looking at her. Oh, and she's got that accent yeah. Oh. She might be fun if super hammered. I just picture she'd get more revved up. And I don't really go that way. I go into calm down.
Right, calm down time.
3 men, Pete Musico, Joseph Morrison, and Paul Beller were convicted in October. And the maximum charge carried 20 years. This is for trying to capture Gretchen. No, my favorite part of the story has always been that they were going to extradite her to Wisconsin.
Right.
And they never explained why.
No.
Wisconsin's great. Where are we going?
Right.
I'd be like, sure. I mean, I'm fine in Michigan, but if you guys want to travel, take me to the Milwaukee Public Market. Then I'd say to my captors, have you been to the Milwaukee Public Market? Have you seen cheese that's 300 years old on a giant wheel?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
How about Bloody Mary served any time of day at a secret Bloody Mary bar right there in the middle?
Boom.
Delicious.
Yep.
Pete was the first one to receive his sentencing. He got 12 years
12 years.
in prison for this shit. Yeah, I mean, well, here's a lesson learned to the children. You cannot try to capture your governor.
Federal
As much as I do not like the governor of Missouri
or anybody
at
else.
times,
You can't
or the governor of Tennessee at times,
people. You can't take anybody.
you can't take anybody. That's a good rule.
Yeah.
But you're even in more trouble if they have a political office.
If they have
And that shouldn't be the case.
If they have security,
But if you start letting people capture our political people and then extradite them to the tri-state area region, you are going to dissolve our government.
So you're
So it's easier to take a bartender. Like if I took my favorite bartender, Michaela, and captured Michaela.
she'd like that.
First of all, not a ton of people would be offering a ton of ransom. Like they'd be like, I got $400. We're doing a GoFundMe. Can we please get Michaela back? in a good way. But, you know, or if somebody captured me, it's one less comedy show. Whoop-de shit. Ron might pay to get me out. Lou would make me stay. He'd be like, you keep her for at least a week. And then he'd laugh and laugh. Mm-hmm.
Michelle doesn't have security detail.
Michelle has no security. I don't have any security. His son-in-law, Pete's son-in-law, was sentenced to 10 years in prison. This says at least, so they probably could get more.
At least.
He was given at least 4 years for the two most serious charges, and then for the weapons charge. Paul, the last guy, received 7 years. He was given 2 5-year prison sentences, each for support of a terrorist act and gang membership. He will serve them concurrently. He will serve a 2-year sentence for weapons charge. First, I would like to apologize for the highly inappropriate comments I made in the past, Beller said. I would like to apologize to the governor. I'm very embarrassed by the comments I made. Yeah, the shit they wrote on Facebook. It's not embarrassing. No. It's appalling. Yeah. You shouldn't say this about anybody. Even your worst enemy, I wouldn't say it about. No. I mean, I may have said it about one man in Los Angeles. Right. That I'd like his eyes. Okay. Yeah. I'd like his eyes to fall out. Yeah. We don't need to talk about that. No. This was, all three were part of the Wolverine Watchmen. Get it? Michigan Wolverines. Which took part in an armed protest in Michigan state capitol, largely over Whitman's, it was over her COVID-19 shutdown. All three men were photographed at the Capitol holding rifles outside her office during one of the protests. Then an informant got into it, and they had a whole plan. They were going to kidnap her. On the Facebook page, this guy who said he's embarrassed, he advocated for Governor Whitmer to be dragged to the streets and hung, and threatened to toss a Molotov cocktail in her home after the government extended shutdown orders related to COVID pandemic. Yeah. He also addresses, he allegedly discussed finding the addresses of police officers and killing them and attacking politicians, including Whitmer. They were coming for her. They posted on social media. They're going to catch, this is how you know they're not like mob guys. No mob guys post on social media, who they're coming to get and when they're going to do it. No. While also trying to talk, they were saying to catch that bitch as she came out the emergency exit. God, yeah. So that's it. That's what happened to those three guys. Lesson learned, children. If you feel the need to capture someone, don't. Not anyone, but seriously not a politician. You get in extra trouble, or a cop. You get in extra trouble. Here's another update of a traitor. A QAnon follower who led the mob into the Capitol, he got 5 years. Eugene Goodman. The judge said, you are not a hero and you are not a patriot, Timothy Kelly said. But you were not a monster either. Correct. He's not Jeffrey Dahmer. No. He's not a monster. No. But he was one of the first 10 ones in. I can't change my past. I can only just look to the future. Yeah. How inspirational. 5 years. Yeah, he went in and did all kinds of crazy shit. Yeah. They have pictures of him, but again, they forget there's cameras everywhere. Yep. Except not enough cameras in where? Moscow, Idaho. No. I'm obsessed with it. Look, it's not New York City. It's not Hong Kong. It's Moscow, which makes it sound like it's Russia. It's not. It's Idaho. Not that big of a town. What happened at that frat party? I'm sure the cops are in on it, but this is where I got super irritated. So I was trying to find a podcast about the Idaho murders, a good one, and I flipped on one. I don't know the guy's name, but he's a retired ex-New York cop. So I thought, oh, okay, this might be good because he won't be nonsense. Like, he'll just get to the point. All he did for 20 minutes is holler and scream about what the children are doing on social media. Right. This shows you you're out of touch. Yep. You're either an old person, I mean, he's retired at 30 years, or you're just out of touch. The children are going to solve this eventually. Right. I'm not saying the cops won't too, but why? Look, the cat's out of the bag on social media. Yep. The cat is way out of the bag. The children are going to scrutinize. They're the ones that found the car in the background. The one girl at the gas station, not a cop, went through all the footage. She works a graveyard shift and said I had nothing else to do. So I went through it all. She found the video of the white car going by. Mm-hmm. Then somebody else, these other kids you can't stop it. Right. Accept the help. Right. Just accept it. Yeah. He's threatening them to send him to prison. First of all, do you think any of the children on TikTok take that seriously? No. Yeah, no. And who says they can't do it? Unless you're falsifying shit or you're completely making shit up, but then you'll be held criminally responsible by someone else. Don't worry about it. I don't know. Now they're saying there's a video somebody found of that guy walking with them, and he's asking him about Adam.
He's gotta be.
But no, the fathers all say that kid ain't it.
Yeah, but the fathers don't really know.
Well, the fathers don't really know, but do they know?
Nobody knows.
Does anybody know? Like Donald Rumsfeld used to say, we only know what we don't know when we know it. Come on, Paddles.
Come on.
I know you're Canadian, but you have to remember the wise words of Donald Rumsfeld. We don't know what we know until we don't know it if we knew it.
If we do it.
But we don't know it. So until it's solved, I say let the children.
Ridiculous.
Look, here's the problem. When you put a whole movie up on Netflix called Don't Fuck with Cats, and that lady who's like my age went, she saw him literally abusing cats on Luca Magnotta, the crazy Canadian killer who's in a prison in Montreal somewhere right now. Yeah, he's really crazy. But he was abusing cats and killing cats online. And that lady, who has a real job, would come home from work every night and try to solve it. And her and a bunch of other internet sleuths, as you might want to call them, Facebook people, they figured way more out than the cops. They told the cops in Montreal where to go. They're like, here's where he lives, and here's how we did it.
Right.
I don't know. I'm in full support of the internet children.
Yes, you gotta embrace
And I don't mean just the children. That lady in Vegas was probably my age.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm one comedy show away from being this lady. I just work at the casino in the day. Then I come home to cats.
Yep.
And I go on the internet and try to solve shit.
Embrace the help.
Embrace it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to talk about Twitter for just a minute because it's an update.
You're upset, I know.
I feel like he's seriously on drugs.
Have some moonshine. Have some moonshine.
I feel like he is on drugs. You can't even keep up with it. Yesterday, he said that you wouldn't be able to post, you wouldn't be able to connect to other platforms off Twitter. I don't care. I never do that. But apparently other people want to post something to Facebook and you just post all. Well, yesterday, that's not going to happen. Forget it. Today, it's fine. That's how quickly these decisions come down, where you're like, whoa, that he's at the World Cup drinking wine next to Jared Kushner. Then he put a poll up, should I be removed? He under his Twitter feed, should I be removed as the CEO of Twitter? I will abide by the results. Now, this lady is just dumb enough to go ahead and vote. Okay? I know it's all made up, and he's probably just I say no, he'll probably kick me off, but I'm willing to play till the party's over. I feel like now we're at the party where the blow is out. Yep. Oh, yeah, there's cocaine everywhere. People are jumping off balconies into pools. It's gone. And I'm in the corner not doing coke, just drinking my drinks, watching it. And I don't want to leave yet. I want to see the end. I want to see when the cops show up or the building burns down or...
Another beer.
So, I would worry, though. The Tesla stock is crumbling. If I'm on the board of Tesla, I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
Exactly.
Some board member already called for him to be removed. Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I would do that. But then I found this article. What do Twitter's gold, gray, and blue ticks mean? And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because I think a lot of normal people are not on Twitter. I think it's like comedians and musicians and sports people. Mm-hmm. There's normal people, but not as many as would be on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, let's say. Not by a lot.
Right.
So they have gold, gray, and blue ticks mean. First of all, I've never seen that.
No.
And then every day I'm told my blue one, I think, is going to cost me $8, but no one sends a bill. That's another problem you have, Elon.
Right.
If you're going to charge people, you got to send a bill. But I don't know if maybe I've been grandfathered in
the mail
because I already had a blue check. Nobody's made that clear. I don't really care. I'll either get a bill for $8 or I won't.
Right.
And I'm staying until the ship goes down. You've likely noticed a range of new colored ticks on the platform. Nope. You can now feature gold, blue, gray, or no tick at all next to their account name. What do they actually mean? Well, the blue once indicated that any account belonged to someone notable. isn't quite as straightforward as that right now. First of all, I didn't even ask for a blue check mark. I just got one.
Yeah, right.
One day, there was a check, and I saw it, and I thought, have I been kicked off? But that was a long time ago.
Get rid of her.
And then I was like, whatever, I don't care as long as it still works. You put whatever you want. If somebody's happy about it. Twitter Blue is a subscription that gives users blue tick of verification for a monthly fee. Currently costs $8 per month for those who purchase it through the web, but $11 through Apple. He's screwing Apple hard, too. I don't know why. He's making everything like an Android. Not as much.
Come on.
Once again, we Android people win.
No, you don't, because you still have an Android.
Oh, we don't win because we still have an Android?
Right.
Well, where's your $3 beer going? It's going to Elon Musk, Battles. Mine isn't. Mine's staying right in my pocket for whatever I need.
I am happily not verified.
If you're a Twitter Blue person, if you want to buy your check mark, you'll see fewer ads. I don't hardly ever see any.
Nope.
And you'll be able to post and view longer, better quality videos. Who cares?
Quality.
That's what TikToks were for. That's what Instagram, except now I don't want to do Reels.
No. YouTube.
What? YouTube. Where the children love the YouTube. Yeah, I don't really, I go on it to look at things when I'm told to, but I don't think of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's just a shambles. And somebody needs to do something. He's also going to say he's not going to pay rent in San Francisco. He's just not going to do that.
Oh, okay. Good for you.
He's tiring.
Uh-huh.
He's exhausting. I don't know what is the matter with him. Why did you spend $44 billion to destroy something? Because there's a lot of people quitting, not just Elton John.
No.
There's a lot of people I've noticed that have said, I'm leaving. I haven't noticed, well, I did get a lot of Ted Nugent in my feed, and I do not follow Ted Nugent. Ever since on Behind the Music, he admitted to having relationships with children.
Yeah.
I mean, underage people,
Right.
which I call the children.
The children.
Yeah, Ted Nugent. I didn't even like Catch Scratch Fever. I mean, if you're going to I put that on Twitter. If you're going to put 70s rockers from Detroit in my feed, I'll take Bob Seger.
But yes.
Right?
Yep.
Why not?
Yep.
Okay.
And you're still on, so that's good.
I'm still on Twitter.
Yeah.
He hasn't kicked me off.
Nope.
I even wrote, when he put up the poll, I wrote back to him. I know he won't see it. This slam book is getting weird. It's like a slam book remember those in grade school? Mostly girls did them. I don't think the guys did them.
I got in trouble.
I got in trouble for them, too. I have a new one every week. I'd issue new questions. Yeah. Pass this around. Sister Sheila's not looking. Okay. This is crazy. Now, this is for you crime folks. And there's really good podcasts on this. I unfortunately cannot tell you which ones. Go on your own and look. We've talked about it here, but it was a very long time ago. This is, to me, one of the greatest murder mysteries of my lifetime. And it has not been solved. 5 years ago, a billionaire couple was found strangled beside their indoor swimming pool. Their family is now offering $25 extra million to help catch their killer. Who are these two people? Barry and Honey Sherman. This would be like saying Bill and Melinda Gates in the United States.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a problem. Sorry, Paddles. I know you're not from the east of Canada, so you don't take any responsibility for Toronto.
Nope.
But they're cops. This isn't Moscow, Idaho, where we have a small police force. They have the whole 5 years. Nobody can figure this out. And they also kind of ruined the crime scene.
Yeah.
Just a little, maybe more than a little.
Maybe they're involved. Cops took them out.
No. Barry had a lot of people suing him, and Barry sued back.
Yep.
There's a lot of people mad at Barry but that's been his whole life.
Many things.
What changed? Honey Sherman, she was just a delight on the social circuit. She was a delight. I think we talked about all that part, but I won't go through it all. But if you want to, initially there was speculation that it was suicide. If you could have seen the way these bodies were found with belts around their neck hanging from the side of a pool, there is no fucking way 60-somethings could do all this and successfully kill themselves. No way. And then it was, did Barry murder Honey? No. Did she murder him? No. And they were the golden stars, the bright lights of the Jewish community charity circuit. Like she gave away tons and tons of money, all good things. She did. He was weird. But anyway, They still haven't solved it. And they have a video of a guy that's outside of the house, and they say he's between 5'6" and 5'9", and he has a weird gait. His right foot flaps. But then I thought, is it Tiger Woods? But Tiger's taller than 5'9". They are 25. There's a $10 million reward that'd been out. They've added $25 million, so it's a $35 million reward. Canadian, right? So really, it's only like $6. I don't know. I just can't believe that you can get away with this when there's so many cameras. And what happened to all the house cameras? And I don't know.
Maybe the son's involved.
Well, one of the sons, yeah, there's some speculation. You got to go watch First Take on YouTube. That's the Canadian version of like 60 Minutes, Dateline, whatever you want to call it, like a mishmash of those two. And they have a First Take on Barry and Honey Sherman.
The First Estate.
Oh, sorry, First Estate or Take. I like mine better.
I think so.
First Take.
I think it's a sports show.
It is a sports show. You're right. That's why I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, moving on to holy shit. They found it. They found it. Australian scientists have discovered a deep ocean shark's graveyard containing the fossilized teeth of the ancient ancestor of the Megalodon shark.
No.
Yes, it was even bigger. Bigger than a Megalodon. They were discovered in 2 expeditions on the research vessel Investigator, which is operated by Australia's National Science Agency. Yeah, they have it's found in the Indian Ocean, which, by the way, what else is in the Indian Ocean? My missing Malaysian airline flight.
Yeah, it is.
I think so. That would be hard to work in there because they've shown the waves in the Indian Ocean. Mm-hmm. It's like the roughest water on the planet. Yes. They have, but this one, there's a picture of it. It's a whole mouth of the thing, bigger than a megalodon. A 12-meter long shark that was the closest known relative to the mighty megalodon.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's a picture of it. We'll put it in the notes. This thing died out 3.5 million years ago. Yeah. So, anyway, you got to go look at the picture because it's astonishing. It's old. Then,
It's old.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be doing that research out there. I'd be scared, terrified, because their regular waves look like rogue waves from what I've seen. Holy shit! They found it. Medieval ship found in Norway's biggest lake. Whoa. Fascinating. Resting at the bottom of Mjøsa, the largest lake in Norway. I'm sure I said that wrong. Yeah. Cut to me in Norway. Hey, where's Lake Mjøsa? You have a map? Well, it's MJO with a line through it, SA. I don't know how to speak Norwegian. Mjøsa. A shipwreck from 100 years ago is in perfect condition, frozen in time. The vessel, with its unique stem, post, and overlap planks, reveals a moment in the lake's maritime history and is estimated to date between the 1300s and the 1800s. How awesome is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Here's the weird thing. I did not know this. It's at about 1,300 feet down. It was captured in sonar imagery, a system that uses sound pulses to detect and measure the area's water surface. The imagery revealed the ship. It's 33 feet long. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did not know this part. The freshwater environment and lack of wave activity at that depth had kept the vessel in pristine condition, except for a few iron nails corroded at the end of each ship. The wearing away of metal is a clear indication that the wreck has rested on the lake bed for quite some time, since the corrosion would take hundreds of years to occur. Eventually, the ship may lose its structure when all the nails disintegrate. I didn't know that water keeps it. Wooden shipwrecks can be well preserved in fresh water since they lack organisms that usually eat wood that are found, for instance, in the ocean. I assume if we're going to find intact Iron Age or medieval vehicles in Norway, the lake would be the best place to look since it's big enough to have its own distinct maritime history with a lot of seafaring and trade. Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's very awesome. There's a sonar picture of it, and it's like it just sunk like this, just from the top.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it hit anything or maybe a giant wave, but it didn't seem violent. It seemed like it just sunk.
That's awesome.
And I got 2 more. Well, yeah, I have 2 more. Holy shit, they found it.
Oh boy.
This one's great. It's always exciting to unearth dinosaur fossils, but there are some discoveries that are significantly more important than others. This is the case for the finding of the rock chicks, a group of female fossil hunters in Queensland, Australia. While investigating a site on a cattle ranch, they uncovered a 100-million-year-old fossil that paleontologists will think them helped discover new kinds of historic marine creatures, much like the discovery of the Rosetta Stone allowed to modern humans to decipher ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. These are the rock chicks. Cassandra Prince and her friends Sally and Cynthia make up the trio they name the Rock Chicks. Fossil hunting is a hobby they do in their own downtime out of curiosity and just, why can't I meet these people? Wow. This is what I would like to do. Let's find them. But I'm only off on Mondays and Tuesdays. They've been working for some time on a cattle station in western Queensland owned by Prince. It just says Prince, like not our Prince. No, not our music Prince. When they started to make some interesting finds. While digging, they came across a plesiosaur, which I think that's what the Loch Ness Monster is, a relative of. Yeah. Long neck, little fat dino body. It's a type of ancient marine reptile, as well as numerous other small finds. This prompted Prince to get in touch with Dr. So-and-so, before they made their most impressive find. They were digging at the site, and I'm like, this girl said, no, this is not real. And then I looked down again. I'm like, holy hell, I think that's a skull looking up at me. Sure enough, it was knew it was going to be something incredibly important. As it turns out, it was a long neck plesiosaur and a Elazomosaurus. Whoa, never even heard of it. What's up, yeah, so they dug it up. Good for the Rock Chicks. Nice. That's awesome. You find a whole thing like that? That's cool. Like I said, Missouri, all I got is arrowheads. I'm going to save this one for next time. Now, speaking of fish, plesiosaurs. Well, marine creatures. This breaking news, this is news. This came in from Lewis Black, research assistant, based in New York City. He does find me good stuff when he finds it, but he has to be not busy. When he's busy, he forgets to do his job, which his primary job is research assistant. U.S. Fish and Wildlife celebrate reintroduction of rare West Virginia fish that looks like a candy cane. And he said to me on the phone, have you seen the fish that looks like a candy cane? And I'm like, no, Lewis, what are you talking about? Because I usually know more about fish than Lewis would. Let's just say I actually go fishing and things like that. Right. Yeah. Lewis? Not some. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he's got a few things in North Carolina and Tennessee. Horrifying. But, it's not like a hobby. He sent this to me. I've never seen anything so beautiful. Really? Now I want to get a freshwater tank. Come on. What? I always had a fish tank my whole life. Even as a child. My side of the room with my sister was fucking hopping. I had an aquarium at all times. I would chop down my own cedar little Christmas tree. I decorated it myself. I made a disco. What? I took yarn and I knitted things to divide the room because my sister said my room was was messy and disgusting. It was a disco. Yeah. It's a nightclub. I would invite my parents up to my nightclub and I started by playing Stevie Wonder, Sir Duke. That welcomed everybody. Get you in the mood. Yeah. I made cupcakes. I had shit going on up there. I served alcohol for my parents. If my siblings wanted to come, they were offered grape Kool-Aid. Nice. What more do you want? Yeah, what was it called? I had my Sean Cassidy poster on the wall. Madigan's nightclub. I never named it. No, it's just the disco. I had tickets made. I made up tickets, gave them out. Nice. Anyway, I don't know what took me off on that. But I've always had aquariums. I do not have one right now because I'm not home enough. But I like fish. And I've never had a saltwater aquarium because I never had the money as a young comic. And then by the time I had any money, it just seems overwhelmingly hard to take care of. And then you got to get a fish guy. And I didn't want to do that. Anyway. But if you had a freshwater tank and you could capture one of these, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Wait till you go and see this thing. You can't believe it's red and green. It looks more like a Christmas fish than a candy cane. It's not red and white. It's green and white and red. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife has huge news about a small fish. And in case you aren't, if you haven't catch the headline, hatchery-raised fish that looks like candy cane released into the wild for the first time. The candy darter, and it has a technical name I'll never be able to pronounce. Darter, it says, listed as a federally protected endangered species in 2018 and included in W. Boy's 2000 list of West Virginia's 6 weirdest animals.
What?
Is a festive-looking fish. It's red and green coloration or orange and teal. No, it's red and green. But close enough. Does resemble a candy cane. No, it resembles a Christmas tree. Does this person not know candy canes are red and white?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, they're different colors. I mean, it should be red and white. But...
Traditional is red and white battles. Here's your blue candy cane. Nobody's ever said that. Do you want purple and green?
Maybe.
What?
You never know.
So they took a big step in ensuring the candy darter's survival. They're small. They're only 2 to 3 inches long, but play a large role in our river ecosystems and food chains. And their habitat is under threat from rival species, notably the less colorful variegated darters. So there's ones that are uglier, and they're killing the pretty ones. Candy darters are also delicious fish, but biologists have had a hard time raising them in hatcheries. It's 3 inches long. How are you going to get a fillet knife out for that?
Right.
That's that long.
Yeah.
No, I'm letting that go. They raised him in captivity, and now they let him to the wild. So West Virginia, go get him.
Nice.
Yeah, you're free to go fish them, I guess. You might want to look at that before you get pulled over by Water Patrol. Speaking of fish.
Mama Termite said it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I was listening to Kathleen's podcast, and she said we could go fishing. No, I didn't say that. Speaking of fish, this is insane. Swimming with the fishes. World's biggest cylindrical aquarium explodes in German hotel.
Stop.
Wait till you see how big this thing is. It's like 8 stories high. You can see
No.
it's in the middle of a hotel lobby, and then the rooms like an embassy suite go around in a circle, and it's the main thing. So every floor you can see it. 1,500 fish were thrown out and glass fired everywhere, and all of that water.
Whoa.
This is.
Wow.
And I am shocked. I'm just going to say I'm shocked that the Germans, usually they're a little better with these kind of things. They know how to do, like, engineering. A huge aquarium exploded inside a German hotel, unleashing a tsunami of water which caused unbelievable maritime damage as a major tourist attraction. It's an 82-foot high tank. Located in the foyer of the Radisson Blue in central Berlin, it burst at about 5:50 a.m., killing all of the 1,500 tropical fish. That's sad. But guess who else got wet? Who's up at 5:50 a.m.? Unless you're me trying to catch a flight, and then I'm not hanging out down there. I'm leaving. Flight crews. Old people. And anal people. The people who, I've been up since 4. Right. You just want to punch them in the face. Those people.
Why do you say that?
What have you gotten done? I don't know. It's 8:45. I was just hoping there's bananas left. That's what I got done.
I'm good.
The explosion at the Aquadome Aquarium unleashed millions of liters of water into the lobby and cut off electricity in the hotel. 2 people were injured from glass shards and received treatment at a hospital. There was speculation that freezing temperatures overnight caused a crack in the glass tank, which then exploded under the weight of the water, but police are still investigating. They're trying to save 400 to 500 smaller fish housed in aquariums underneath the lobby area. With the electricity, the tanks were not receiving the necessary oxygen to serve them. Here's what's crazy. I love aquariums. Like the Atlanta one is great. The Atlanta Aquarium is just spectacular. But there have been times where I've stood there and thought, I'm sure everybody has, what if this busted?
Oh, yeah.
Like, and a giant shark just came right at you. Like,
Whales.
what whales and shit. I'm sure there were people at 5:30 in the morning and not very alert. They're just looking to get coffee, especially flight crews and stuff. And they're just sitting there waiting to have an 82-foot aquarium just fucking fish. I mean, it's surreal. Like saltwater fish. Oh my God. That would have just been, not that I would have wanted to have seen it, but it probably would have been a little freakish. The children are revolting at Starbucks.
Oh.
I was in a Starbucks somewhere on the road recently, and God love the kids. And they all had dyed their hair like purple and pink, and They're all like 21, if that. But it was like I was in their family room. Yes. I mean, they turned up the music so loud, and it was like just fun, dancey Christmas music. And I'm not against any of it, but I'm like, wow, this is all about them.
Yes.
Like, they don't give a shit that there's customers in here. No. I mean, we'll get you what you want.
Do cake pop?
Yeah. Are you sure you don't want a cake pop?
Hi, Cat. You want a cake pop?
We've only got 2 left. I'll give you one for nothing if you want to buy the other one. Because I know they don't want to clean up the cake. No. They're very good at what they do. I'm not complaining about the service. It amuses me how much number one, they're having a good time at work. Good for them. Yep. But like just totally unaware. Like I would be like, hey, we got to turn that down. There's people on their computers like they're trying to work and shit. Yeah. Not everybody had earbuds in, right. But they didn't care. But they were having fun.
That's how you clean out the work people.
The children at Starbucks. The biggest strike in Starbucks history has begun. Over 100 stores are presently striking over unionization rights. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to have to Google it, but I thought they got good benefits. Do they not?
I thought they did. I don't know.
I'll look it up.
We just all assume they do because coffee's $94.
Here's an excerpt from the article. Mm-hmm. Starbucks workers are busy this fall, and not just with making pumpkin spice lattes. Yeah. This month. Workers from hundreds of unionized Starbucks stores are expected to sit down for collective bargaining for the first time, while the others will vote in still more union elections to come. So far, more than 300 Starbucks stores in close to 36 states have had union elections, a stunning number, given not a single company-owned store had a union at this time the last year. Even more remarkable is that 80% of them, or around 245 stores, have gone in favor of forming a union. Good. Wow, the children are learning.
I like it.
Good. Now, over 2 months later, this is what's going to be the biggest strike ever. Starbucks Workers United has won union elections at around 270 locations, approximately 7,000 baristas since December 2021.
Nice.
The main reason we're doing this is taking action is because of the unfair labor practices the company's engaging in that the NLRB is investigating. The most recent are denial of credit card tipping to union stores, hours cuts, and closing of union stores. That's how they're trying to get back at them. Oh. Yeah, they're just going to say, okay, you want to be a union? We'll just close that location. Yeah. But I don't know. I root for the children. Only because I know I couldn't work there for more than 5 minutes without killing someone. No. If somebody walked in and ordered something other than coffee, I'd be like, fuck off. I'm not making that. The shit I've heard people order there, and then the kids have to go, okay.
Extra hot.
Can I have an extra hot foam, light foam latte?
Extra syrup.
Yes, the syrup. 1 pump.
Just a drizzle.
I wouldn't have the patience for it. God love the children that do. Who's the richest person in the world right now? It's not Elon Musk. Guess why, Elon? Because you won't quit fucking tweeting out polls like you're 11 years old. Here's a poll. Do you think I should wear my hair up or down? Huh? Do you like me in glasses or contacts? Say for all day, not just for evening.
Like my beaver Santa.
God. Do you like my Bucky's outfit? Yes. Vote. Yes. No. I can honestly say I've never put a poll up on Twitter. Not saying some people put up funny ones. That's fine. But he's putting up, should I step down as a CEO? I'll abide by the results of this poll. Stop. First of all, why do I even believe the poll? I don't believe any of this, but I participate for fun. Why not?
Great.
I voted on behalf of Tesla shareholders. I do not have any Tesla stock. I didn't know about it at the time. Or maybe I do. I'd have to ask Pat. But for the sake of my friend Lorene owns a Tesla and loves her car. I don't know if they're good or bad. I know one person who has one. She loves. Oh, I know two. My buddy Joe. Joe has his own charging station up at the golf course.
Nice.
He built it himself. It says Joe's charging station. And I don't know if you had an electric car. Could I charge her too, Joe? Is it, or I got to pay you $10? Anyway, the richest man in the world now is Bernard Arnault. Arnault. He's a Frenchie.
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. He topped the list. He put Elon into second place. He's worth $171 billion. Oh. He beat out Elon, who only has $164 billion. And by the time you listen to this podcast, he will probably have 160. The stock is tanking. Some adults got to come in the room and tell him to stop.
Yeah.
His net worth has tumbled $107 billion this year. Elon's. Mm-hmm. Bernard only lost 7.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he also has Dior.
He probably doesn't tweet.
6 years later, he has no social media. It says that in here. Grow up. The Bankman Textile Group, he owns Christian Dior. So in case you're wondering what else he owns.
A lip gloss is $32.
A lip gloss is $32. I have one.
Yeah.
He's married and has 5 children, all who work for the same. Yeah. He keeps a much lower profile than Musk and isn't personally active on any social media platforms. In October,
Smart man.
he told the Radio Classique that he sold his private jet because he had been in Twitter shamed over his frequent use of the plane.
Oh,
I find that hard to believe too, but good for him.
Fly on Delta.
How would you know you're Twitter shamed if you don't even have social media? Do one of your kids tell you, "Hey, Dad, they're calling you a gross pig on Twitter," like he cares? Like he cares. Like my dad would give a shit about anything. Oh, the Pope.
Poposaurus.
I like Pope Frank.
I do too.
Francis. Yeah. But in our house, we call him Frank. My parents love it. Pope Frank. They've been waiting for a Frank for a long time, I think. Disappointed in him. Usually he tries to move the Catholic Church forward, right? Yeah. The Pope has offered a harrowing vision for the future, saying he has seen signs of even darker times ahead for humanity. At a mass at the Vatican, he's 85 years old, so he said on Sunday he has a dire vision for the world with omens of even greater destruction and desolation. Could we have waited till after Christmas for that message, Frank?
I think it would have been smart.
Could you just hold that in your pocket?
Yeah.
Do you know anything like super Nostradamus that's going to happen next week? Like if, or who was that one? Sylvia Plath, the American blonde-haired lady. She predicted COVID, and she truly did. Bubba Vanga? Yeah. Right. Do you have a specific reason I should know this before New Year's Eve when I'm trying to watch Dolly Parton and Miley Cyrus? If not, let's keep this to yourself, Frank.
Right.
Till after the New Year. And then if it's, that bad, fine. Yeah. Tell me then.
Super Bowl predictions.
I'm going to tell you this. This little crypto kid, Sam Bankman Fried, another MIT, these people, these wonder children in their hoodies and their uncombed hair. He wants out of okay, so he's a crypto. If you don't, so recap for people that don't understand crypto, no problem. It's like buying stock, and there's many exchanges. Like the New York Stock Exchange is a stock exchange, and with crypto, there's many, many exchanges. Now, you better know which one exchange you're buying into because it could be completely full of shit. Right. I have my crypto in Coinbase. Seems fine so far, but who knows? But that's the risk of all this. It could all disappear in a heartbeat. Right. It's gambling money. It's musical chairs. Right. You just got to hope that you know exactly when the song's over. Uh-huh. And I'm betting that the music's going to keep playing for a while, and then I'll cash out. Okay. We'll see. Right now, it's even Steven. Okay. Yeah, I haven't lost a nickel, but it hasn't gone down, I've only lost money if you say the money that it got up to and I didn't cash out. I'm talking about money I actually invested. But this exchange, FTX, and that's the one Tom Brady and Giselle, now Shaquille O'Neal, he's saying, well, I don't even know what crypto was. I believe him. Right. I don't think half of them know what they're doing. You were hired as a spokesperson. Yep. Now, I don't know if they should be in trouble. Like I said, for instance, I've only got one national commercial my whole life. I was like 28. It was for U.S. West.
It's fabulous.
It's on my YouTube channel. But I mean, I sat there and said, I love U.S. West. Well, I didn't know what the fuck it was. I never even heard of it. Because it was only out west. It was like in Utah, California. I'm like, no, I'm from the Midwest. I'm from southwestern Bell Country. Have you ever heard of that? Which turned into AT&T. I didn't know what I was selling. But I wasn't Kathleen Madigan either. I wasn't a known person. I was just a comedian who got the gig. Right. But they did hire 2 other comedians for other ones, so it kind of became, I think they were hoping people knew who we were. Yep. But I don't know if they did. Probably not.
If you could do a national commercial now, what would it be for?
If I could do a national commercial for anything, what would I do it for? Well, I would always do it for Hometown Anheuser-Busch. Yep. Because I right now, I'm not drinking one, but I usually do. I'm just out because my fucking friend Brian drank all my Bud Lights. And then I have Miller Lite here from my brother-in-law.
Lay's.
Buc-ee's, no problem.
Lay's
Lay's potato chips, yeah. And these are, I would do for a minimal fee.
Yep.
Just because I love them. And do I feel confident in standing by the product? Yes, I do.
Yep.
Anything Mattress Mac wanted, I'd do. Anything.
You gotta invite him to your show.
He's just a wonderful person. So charitable.
DraftKings.
Any gambling site? Yeah, I'll show you my whole history in the ad. And then I'll show you some of my friends.
Look at my poor choices.
Yeah, there's a comedian, Michael. I want to talk about Michael. I won't say Michael, which Michael. There's a lot of Michaels. So if anybody's wife is listening, don't get mad. Yeah, there's a lot of things I would do it for. Ole Smoky Moonshine. I just have to really. But the question is, now crypto, I would have said no. GMC, yes.
Yeah.
I love a GMC. I would have done it for Mercury. They went out of business. Still got my Mercury Mariner.
I know.
But what I'm saying is, crypto, I would have said, I don't feel comfortable doing that because I don't feel like it's a solid product right now. Right. And if people believe me, like you believe Shaquille O'Neal about the pizza and all the whatever else he sells, I think you have to be careful. But do I think you're personally responsible? No. You're a hired spokesperson, and people watching that should know that.
Right.
He don't really. It's like saying, does Tiger Woods really drive a Buick? Stop it.
Right.
Of course he does. Does Matthew McConaughey really drive a Lincoln?
Right.
Maybe,
Nope.
but I doubt it.
Right.
Anyway, Sam Bankman Fried, he was the founder of that exchange. All the people, he also has another exchange under his girlfriend's name. It's called Alameda. He's been moving the money. The money's all gone. He spent it all. He hid it. He spent it, and now he's in jail in the Bahamas. And he wants to get out based on the fact he's a vegan. Oh my God. No, dude.
Him and the chief from the riots.
Oh, yeah, the shaman.
Yeah.
He wanted out because he was... Breaking news, criminals. You don't get out of jail because you're not going to eat a hamburger.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. You could make a case for... And I'm shocked that, honestly... I mean, airplanes have vegan options. Why don't jails? But you're also in a jail in the Bahamas.
Right.
That should be the least of your worries
Right.
at this point. I'd be more worried about getting murdered or things like that.
Right.
Bugs. I've read all about the prison.
It's the entitlement.
He's going to prison, in my prediction, for many, many, many years. And that girlfriend, unless she wants to rat the whole thing out, she's going to.
Take your shot.
I shoot my moonshine with that decision.
Yeah.
It's been rendered.
Thank you.
Moving on. Oh my God, this is the saddest fucking story. But don't worry, we're going to close on a feel-good story.
Just not this one.
Not this one, but people should know about this.
Christmas coming. Christmas is coming.
I know.
Okay.
This is important. So when I did have to live in California forever, I was never home, though. I can't really count it as living.
When you had the opportunity to live in California.
When I had the opportunity, well, I'm saying for work I had to. I wouldn't pick it. It's too expensive. The great thing is I brought my own friends. All the comedians, we go to the Improv, we go to the Comedy Store, we go to Comedy Magic Club.
Great.
I had drinking partners shipped in.
Yes.
It was a BYOF.
Right.
Bring your own friends. Because I think it's really hard to make friends in Los Angeles because there's too many grifters out there, too many people. It's just hard to meet real people. Mm-hmm. But I already have my comedian friends from whether they're Ohio, New York, Texas, everywhere, Carolinas. One of the things I was fascinated with all those years I lived there was a mountain lion, and they tagged him P22, or her. I think it's a her. And she's beautiful.
Yeah, she is.
She's gorgeous. And she was a city cat. Somehow, like once every 4 months, they'd be like, P2 was crossing the 405, like a major highway, or the 101. And then sometimes up in the Hollywood Canyons, it was like a mythical thing in it. And then sometimes in Griffith Park, where me and Lou would go golf there, and you'd see the coyotes. And the coyotes got super comfortable with people.
Right.
Like, hey, do you have a hot dog? I'm just prancing by your car. Any chance you got an extra hot dog? Mm-hmm. And you weren't supposed to feed them, but people did. But I think you don't know it. But P22's coming down here for an appetizer tonight, and you're it. You little coyotes with your little swagger.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, she started exhibiting signs of distress, including killing a leash dog in a residential neighborhood. Well, now she's too close.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's what happened.
She's socialized.
She's, unlike these, quote, feral cats, all three of them.
One's in your house.
One's in the house. Well, no, now two are.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Kathleen. God.
Kato won't come in. Chapo likes it.
You're a cat lady officially.
I am a cat lady, but I didn't do it on purpose.
It doesn't matter.
They showed up. What are you supposed to? I tried to give them away.
And you let them in.
Well, I tried to give them away for a solid 2 months. I tried everywhere. Okay. Nobody wants them. Nobody, even my friends who have a farm. Mm-hmm. I'm like, ugh.
Now you really want them.
Well.
do you buy cat treats?
I do buy cat treats. I buy Greenies. There's a party mix. They hate it. Some other brand. Friskies. Sorry, Friskies. They are not interested in the party mix. And it says party mix. It says party in the word, guys. Nothing.
If you buy cat treats, you're officially adopted.
Well, they have to have a treat when it's cold.
What?
That's what I decided. Anyway, P22. It's a boy. He liked to he likely got into the area from Santa Monica Mountains by traversing two major LA freeways, which the National Park Service says is a feat other lions have died trying to do. He never got hit. It was amazing. It was just like you kind of rooted for him, even though obviously I know they're dangerous. He gained further notoriety over the years, and some of his greatest hits include posing for a now famous photo shoot by the Hollywood sign. There's a picture of him, overcoming a public battle with rat poison, burrowing between a home in a saga that captivated TV audiences, and allegedly, killing a koala at the LA Zoo. That's like a smorgasbord in there. He's been celebrated as the Brad Pitt of mountain lions and a sort of ambassador for urban wildlife. But he's also getting up there. They estimate he was 12 years old, which makes him the oldest Southern California cougar currently being studied and puts him at the far end of his species' typical lifespan. He's a remarkably old cat in the wild. I mean, just that he hung around. He's also blamed for 2 recent attacks on leash chihuahuas, killing one in the... Wait, was somebody holding that leash?
I don't know.
That's weird.
That sounds weird. We gotta look at that.
Killing one in the Hollywood Hills in November and injuring another earlier this month. So anyway, they decided to capture him after all this. They would team up to catch him. By Monday, they had caught him. And then they had to decide, what are we going to do with him? He's getting super old. He has a lot of problems, health problems, so they say. Which, I mean, I do believe that the animal people actually give one of the ladies who was involved said, described him as a kindred kind of Angelino himself. They feel a lot of empathy because he's kind of on his own. Yeah. He's the only one who... No. They did... What were they going to do with him? Then they said, okay, he's not going to be released back into the wild. And there's a picture of him, which is his face, and he looks like a giant version of Baby Cat.
He's really pretty.
He's gorgeous. His face, everything. His coat. Well... Long story short, they euthanized him.
No! Oh!
Yeah.
No!
Well, I understand they're saying they can't release him back into the wild. He's too old. He has all kinds of health. And he also apparently had been hit by a car. They could tell by his eye. He got... But. Why couldn't he have a week of celebratory everything?
Right.
Give him everything he likes to eat. Put him in a place just for a week.
Can't you take him to a cat sanctuary?
That's what I mean, a cat sanctuary.
Like for good.
Take movies of him. Well, I would say for good. I'm trying to compromise with these people.
Right.
Okay, you want to euthanize it? This decision was made quite quickly, I think.
Yeah.
Too quickly.
I don't like it.
Yeah. They put him down. Too many severe injuries and chronic health problems. He may have been struck by a vehicle recently, highlighting his grave condition. Yeah, but he was walking around. You went out and caught him. It wasn't that grave.
Right.
He's walking around.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Well, it's the story, though, and it's been going on for years and years, and that's the end of it. So now we're going to move on to a great animal feel-good story.
Yeah, we need one.
Okay, I got one for you. This is awesome.
It's Christmas.
This is a Christmas story. For what? A Christmas bear.
What?
Hold on. I got to pour some more beer for this one. I love it.
Christmas bear.
Yeah, and it's just where I was just at. The Smoky Mountains.
I like it.
what was that song? Smoky Mountain Rain.
That's Ronnie Millsap.
Okay, Ronnie Millsap.
Dolly's going.
By the way, Tennessee home. Still watching George and Tammy. It's so phenomenal. I tried to finish Harry and Meghan. I can't. I'm sorry, termites. I do the work of the Lord, and sometimes I have more free time than you guys, and I'll plow through something. I can't. I watched the second episode. I don't care about either one of them enough to hang in there. The amount of bitching and whining and victim. Everybody has their story. But if you're going to bitch and whine, there's got to be a limit. And you know what? I'm not even saying all of it ain't true.
No.
Even if all of it's true. Motor on.
Right.
Man up. I don't. But mostly, it's boring.
Yes.
Here's Megan and here's me in grade school.
Right.
Nope.
No.
Nope. I don't understand why I should be invested in that. But I can't. But I did start watching 1923 with Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford.
I saw it.
I watched the first episode. It's great.
Yeah.
Helen Mirren has an Irish accent. She's doing it very well, I must say. Unfortunately, the narrator person from 1883, the Faith Hill, and what's her husband, Tim who? McGraw. There's that actor. And there's a lady. She played the young lady in 1883. She's beautiful, part woman. She clearly, I looked her up. She's not Southern. And this Southern accent she has adopted could not be more fake. It's like from a book on tape. I want to bash my head into walls when I hear it. Because there's a cadence and every sentence goes like that. I knew the wind wouldn't blow on a cool day in August. And we would be eaten by bears. And whoosh, what? Scurvy was coming across the plains in wagons by the full. The Indians were at our heels. Anyway, if you can get beyond that.
It's Carolina meets Louisiana.
It's Carolina meet, but it ain't.
it's not.
But it ain't.
Right.
You pick one.
Right.
Pick the Louisiana one. Pick pick Arkansas. Mimic Jimmy Carter's or mimic Bill Clinton's. There's two types of Arkansas. Or Sarah Huckabee Sanders, where you always bite in the air. That's how you do Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I've worked really hard on it. I don't see a reason. Like, every time you do it, you got to bite air. It's like you're eating air. I don't know. Anyway, that lady's only the narrator for a little bit. Thank God.
Yeah.
And if you're following Yellowstone, 1883 was the original family Yellowstone. 1923 would be Kevin Costner's daddy. But he's a younger man in the show because it's 1923.
Right.
And Helen Mirren would be his grandma,
Right.
I guess. Yeah.
Ish. Just say ish.
And I'm still watching Yellowstone, which is phenomenal.
I love it.
Love it. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
People shooting people. I've been to Billings. None of that shit's going on. I mean, hey, I blew up a building downtown, and then I went back to work, and then I went back to our ranch and had a cocktail. Anyway, it's fun. It's a guilty pleasure, though. A relocated bear walked 1,000 miles back to its favorite campsite.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and she's really, really cute. There's a picture of her standing up. The Bruins' journey across 4 states is a reminder that hikers and campers should be extra careful with food and trash.
So good.
This is just a wonderful story.
It's a feel-good story.
This Tennessee black bear would walk 1,000 miles just to eat off the same picnic table. Seriously.
I love it.
On Wednesday, a local broadcast news channel in Knoxville reported the story of a determined black bear that had traveled across 4 states to return to its favorite feeding grounds at a campsite in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. To that table.
Oh,
And then people think they're not smart.
they're really smart.
You can't follow a scent through 4 states. This bear just knew, I know where my picnic table's at, and I'm going back. Fuck you all for relocating me. The initial episode happened in June when officials received complaints that a female black bear was grabbing food off picnic tables, sniffing trash cans, and even stealing backpacks. Wildlife crews trapped the animal, relocated her 1,000 miles in an area of South Cherokee National Forest in Georgia.
Whoa.
Georgia!
That's awesome.
Scientists labeled the animal Bear 609 and attached a geolocating device to it. According to the report, wildlife biologists tracked Bear 609 as she proceeded to walk across Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and then back into Tennessee, eventually returning to the campsite where she'd been trapped.
That's fantastic.
This was definitely one of the most bizarre moments I've seen so far. Bill Stiver, one of the wildlife biologists who tracked 609, told the television she never slowed down. She just kept on going.
That's amazing.
Well, you like what you like.
Yeah.
It's the largest bear journey he's seen among relocated individuals. Typically, bears walk up to 200 miles to return to familiar territory. Relocated bears returning to a favorite human source of food, alas, is not out of the ordinary, but this one went a lot further. Public land managers often struggle with Bruins that have become habituated to human food sources like trash but you know what? There's a million parks in Georgia and South Carolina, especially North Carolina.
Yeah.
She could have gone any picnic site.
Yes.
She clearly liked this one. This isn't just about food. There was food all along the way. Mm-hmm. She kept on going.
I love it.
She likes her house. Yeah.
That's great.
They become too dependent, blah, blah. Her voyage, while impressive, is yet another reminder that hikers and campers should always be careful with food and trash when relocating to bear country. Bears have powerful noses, claws, and muscles, and can easily break into cars and homes in search of grub. There are far too many sad tales of bears that were put down due to human bullshit. Exactly. 609. After returning, the bear ventured onward to South Carolina. While walking through the small town, the bear came into contact with family members of one of the wildlife officials at the national park where the journey began.
Wow.
She's like, you fuckers.
Yeah.
She saw him in town.
Wow. That's crazy.
Lisa McInnes, Chief Resource Manager in Science in Great Smoky Mountain National Park, said her relatives sent her a photo they snapped of the bear walking along their driveway. She recognized the animal. It's a very, very small world.
Wow. Wow.
That's a feel-good story.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas bear.
It's a Christmas miracle.
She made it all the way back. Okay. I'm getting a little hot in my Bucky suit.
What are you doing for Christmas?
For Christmas, I will be, my brother's having it.
Nice.
We will all be there. Unfortunately, in Missouri, on Friday, the high is 6 and the low is -1, which, for the record, is not at all normal in the state of Missouri. It should be like 35, 25 around Christmas time. It's not good. We were going to go take the kids, by kids I mean me, to the Clydesdale farm. But no, it's too cold. It's going to be -2 on Thursday.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I can't. None of us can.
No.
So I'm predicting a lot of drinking. Indoor drinking.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not excited about the weather.
No.
I really was looking forward to going to the Clydesdale farm in Booneville, Missouri, but I'm not doing it.
Not doing it.
No, I don't even have, when it's that cold, I don't even want to go out and get in the car. Like, hey, let's go to the casino or something.
I agree.
I don't want to. I don't want to do, it's just too fucking cold. I mean, there comes a limit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe it's just because I hate the cold, but I don't know. Everything freezes. Your car freezes. Anyway, that's not a good enough. Just remember, termites, gingerbread Kit Kats.
Delicious.
You'll be the hit of the party.
Nice.
Yeah. Wait till I dump those on Pat's Boys. Those will be gone in 5 seconds.
They'll be vibrating.
Yeah.
How's your fantasy team?
My fantasy team, I made the playoffs. I'm in 4th place.
Yeah.
I'm not going to win because you have to win your games and most points. And Lewis is way too far ahead. Drew is way too far ahead. My friend Dory is way too far ahead. Yeah. I did beat the living snot out of a 9-year-old in the baby league.
Great.
Yep. And I can't wait to see those kids at Christmas and just tell them,
Yep.
grow
You
up, man.
failed.
You failed.
Yeah,
You failed. Aunt Cat kicked your ass. And you need to go home and think about your team, think about your choices, thinking about if you're a good American, those kind of things.
Do you still have Tom? Just play Tom.
Well, I did play Tom this week.
You did.
He did all right.
Great.
Same as Tua. I sat Tua.
Gotcha.
It's getting weird. I feel sorry for a lot of teams, particularly anybody that left that Vikings game. When it was 33-0 at the half, Indy 33, Vikings nothing. And all I kept saying was, look at all these people. It's like Christmas time. They spent their money. They're so excited because it was in Minnesota. 33-0 at the half, like Kirk Cousins. What is the matter with you? But I also don't trust Matt Ryan. They're equally as unpredictable. And then the Vikings came out. Greatest comeback in the history of NFL football. And my friend Chris Voth, he's a comedian, originally a Minnesota guy. His friends went. And then his friends of his friends left at halftime.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Awful.
Oh.
God.
Yeah. So I don't even know. I don't see how anybody beats the Eagles in anything. That's my prediction. Sorry, Cowboys, when you get beaten by Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence. No. Kansas City, you just almost let Houston take you. Nope. The Bills. No, Philly's got their number. Josh needs to calm down. Yeah, he needs. Me and Lewis decided that he needs. Yeah, we're gonna call in as a double coaching team. Hello, we're managers of a fantasy team. My name's Kathleen. This is Lewis on the other line. We have some advice for you. I did feel bad for Josh, though. Some reporter said to him, "Well, this current Bills team doesn't look like a Super Bowl winning team." And Josh goes, okay. And then went on to the next. What are you supposed to say? It's not a question. If you're a reporter, ask a question. Don't just say a statement and then expect somebody to react. That's bullshit. All right, termites. You have a good Christmas. We will see you after Christmas.
Yay!
It will be after Christmas when we see you next. I will not. This is a one-time only thing. Wow. I mean, I'm keeping it.
That's fantastic.
But I will not be wearing this for the next broadcast.
Maybe pull it up for Easter.
The Bucky suit. Maybe they'll have an Easter suit.
Oh, no.
One never knows. All right, that's it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and night, termites.